Peace. Welcome to another live edition of Trucking with Loshawnparks. You could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me. I appreciate it. For those that are going to catch this on the replay site, this is a live video, not recorded. So everything that I'm speaking about, you may hear me interact. Hamlet, what's going on? You may see me interact with people, for instance, like me just saying Hamlet. There's people in the chat that I am interacting with. So, but I do appreciate you for catching this either live or either catch this on the replay. I appreciate your support. Please do, if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing, hitting the bell right next to the word subscribe so that you get notifications of when I do videos like such, so that you can be here to interact with the conversation of the video. All right. Also, at this moment in time, feel free to share this out, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, on your community section. I appreciate that as well. Don't matter what type of support you give, whether it's hatred, whether it's disagreements, whether it's not liking, whatever, or you're a supporter of mine. I appreciate all forms that it comes in. All right. Typically, if you are new to this channel, new to my channel, I typically give it about a 5-minute wait to let people get their notifications to come into the live stream, so that I don't find myself repeating myself on this subject or topic that I'm bringing to y'all numerous times. All right. To my moderators that are in the building right now, appreciate y'all for being here. Y'all know how the situation goes here. We don't deal with no foolishness, no ignorance, no stupidity. Moderators, you deem it to be foolish, ignorant, stupidity, block them, they out of here. My moderator blocks you, don't send me no email, don't send me nothing asking me to bring you back. So be very leery or cautious of what comes out of your fingers. Okay, I wouldn't say your mouth because I can't technically hear what you're saying, but I can read what you type. All right. I'm not here to, I don't put my channel together to try to impress people or to try to get verification, justification, validation, any of that stuff. All right. I am on YouTube for a clear reason. I understand my reason for being here. And to some people, my information or my content is not for you or for them. So take it for what you want with that disclaimer I just given. All right. Also, at this moment in time, if you are not following me on Instagram, please find yourself doing so. I am on Instagram at Loshawnparks. I'm not huge on Instagram. At times, I don't even know why I tell y'all to follow me on Instagram, because I don't post that much on Instagram like other people do. Just find myself not being fascinated with posting that much on Instagram. Same way on Facebook. Most of the time, things that I do post on there end up being links to my channel here, where I bring content and information at. So with that being said, shout outs to everybody that is in here at the moment in time. Brandy, I see you in the building. My moderator, Spins, I see you in here, Young and Trucking. And shout outs to everybody else that's in here. Mob Truck, I see you in the building. Salute. All right, so what we're going to talk about, and let me see, any other, like I said, I'll be sitting here all night if I go through everybody's name. So appreciate everybody for being in here right now. All right, Red Duchess, I see you in here as well. So if y'all follow my video on Saturday, I'm about to turn the truck on because it's hot as hell. And I want some air. Everybody's able to hear me now before I get started, right? We got about another 30 seconds. Everybody's still able to hear me over the truck, correct? Sound good? All right, Spin says yep. So everything is good and clear. All right, appreciate that as well. Who is that? Kristen, I appreciate it. And everybody who's giving me thumbs up. All right, so on Saturday and previous videos to Saturday, I have preluded that I was going to be talking about driving local. few people have asked me, how do I like local? How do I feel about local? And before I judge anything, I try to get a feel for it somewhat, okay? Now, I've been doing local now for about a month and a half, all right? I think I started doing local in, what is this, August? So I started doing local in July, like the beginning of July, right after the 4th of July. So I can firmly say that it has been about a month and a half into doing it. What I do is I work intermodal. I pull from the rail yard. I don't work at the port. I don't pull from the port. I don't go to a port. I don't do anything. I go to a rail yard, which consists of the train, NS. For those that don't know what NS is, that Norfolk Southern, and also pull CSX items, okay, off the rail. Now, from my take on being local, because a lot of people have asked me, how do I like local? What do I think about local? Can you make money in local? Is it a move for individuals to go local? Here is my take on it. I came into trucking local, technically, okay? I used to work for a company before I got my CDL called Fresh Point, which is produce side of Cisco, okay? Also worked for another produce company called Foster Cavaness, which is Fresh Point's competitor, if you will, another produce company. And what I did is I delivered produce to major restaurants, all right? Come in wee hours in the morning, depends on what route you were on. It could range anywhere from 2:30 in the morning to 6 o'clock in the morning that you come in. And as soon as your route was over, then your day was over, okay? So if you was on this route, you pretty much could determine how your day went. And once again, it wasn't a CDL position, it was just a regular driver's license position. You didn't need a CDL because you didn't deal with air brakes, so to speak. Well, you kind of did, but kind of in the same sense, it wasn't, because it wasn't combination. It was a box truck that was a 26 footer, and yeah, all right, so you didn't have to have a Class A or a Class B for that sake. Doing that kind of geared me into liking driving, okay? I wouldn't say trucking at that point, because box truck you really ain't trucking, okay? It's just a different, it's not trucking, okay? You're more so of driving, okay? In a sense of basically being a big car. Now, when I was doing that, I would deliver to the restaurants, put the ramp on the back, have to load up the handall, go off the ramp, deliver the produce into the restaurant. Restaurant manager comes in, or the kitchen chef, or the sous chef, or whoever comes, checks off the product that I'm bringing in, and that was that. If they were short on anything, then we had like little walkie-talkies that we would call back into the base and let them know that this restaurant was short this product, and then they would put it on another truck, which we called second runs, okay? Where it was another truck that would come out to drop off the extra product that was missing, or the product was bad and they kicked it and they sent it back, so they needed fresh product to come to them. All right. Now, with doing that, it made me like driving, okay? And at the time when I was doing with Fresh Point and Cisco, with Fresh Point I was single. I wasn't married at all. My first wife I met her at Fresh Point, because she worked in the front office. So I dated her, married her, there you go. Me and her, at the time when I was at Fresh Point, I had thoughts of going over the road. This was back in 2008, 2009. Didn't go on the road because we was newly married, and she didn't think that it was a great idea for a newly married couple for me to go OTR. All right, so no problem. long story short, we end up getting a divorce. So when we get a divorce, I leave that company, Fresh Point, and I go work for a company called Foster Cabinets, which is once again the competitor to Fresh Point. All right. I know I'm giving a little story, y'all just flow with me here. All right, it's all going to come together and have a meaning to it. All right. So when I went to Fresh or Foster Cabinets, I was a divorced man, basically, aka single again. So when I was there, did that for about 1.5 years, and a guy that was working with me, that was a driver at Foster Cabinets, we would see the 18-wheelers at that time, how we looked at it, 18-wheelers, semi-trucks come in to bring the produce to the warehouse. And we would see nice trucks. The truck that we seen a lot of was Stevens Transport. Would bring a lot of produce to that warehouse, okay? When we're looking at it, we're looking at all these nice trucks. And one day, I guess we just decided to ask the driver of that Stevens about trucking and getting a CDL, and was it worth it? And did he make good money? And damn, he has a nice truck. I remember it like it was yesterday. He was driving a KW black joint. All right, I think it was T680, or it might have been 660 then, but it was nice. All right, like, dang, he actually invited us to come into his truck so that he could show us what the inside of the truck looked like, because we're used to driving around in like a little day cab shit, right? The day cab box truck. Get in there, oh shit, that shit nice, you know what I'm saying? Oh damn, you got a bed, yo, dude got a bed back here, you know what I'm saying? We was ecstatic about the whole setup. He had a TV in there, everything. He was like, yeah, man, I just back in the dock, I chill. They open the doors, I back in, they chill, they unload me. Once they done with my paperwork, they come knock on the door, they come get me. Bada bing, bada boom, I'm done, I'm out. And we was like, yo, if you don't mind us asking, how much are you making being OTR? He was like, yeah, I get checks like $1,500 a week. You know, and at that time, we're like, yo, that's crazy, right? That's crazy because with us being local, well, our checks for 2 weeks was about what he was making in 1 week, right? So we was like, yo, damn, that's crazy, you know what I mean? And you making like $1,500, that's like our paycheck after taxes in 2 weeks, all right? Shit was crazy. So we was like, yo, me and him sat there talk. We was like, yo, we need to go get our CDL. We need to go do this. Let's get out there and go on the road and get to making real money, all right? That time I went to the crib, I started doing a little bit of research. I seen a couple of companies. First company we was gonna go to was Swift. That was where he wanted us to go at first. And our whole plan was that we were going to go to a company and team together since we stayed in the same city together, right? So that was our first thing, we was gonna go to Swift. After that, I looked at the pay on Swift. I was like, and then I did, I forgot what website I went to, but I think it was some trucking shit. I forgot what it was. It was on the line. And then it gave a breakdown of like starter companies that would give you your CDL and how much they would pay you per mile. Rankins, I see you in the building. Boy. I think that's Joey. What up? But Truckers Report. Thank you, Spence. That's right, Truckers Report. It would give a breakdown. When I went to study, I seen Swift, I seen Snyder, I seen JB Hunt, I seen Warner, and I seen Prime. All right. Now my objective was I wanted to go. Oh, I seen CR England. Okay. Now at this moment in time, I know that I wanted to make more money, but at the same time, I was looking at, and we seen Stevens. Now we seen the Stevens truck, and we wanted to have Beauty and the Beast. What up, Be surprised. I see you in the building. We wanted to have a nice truck. All right. We wanted to have some fly shit, and my favorite colors for the longest of time has been red and black, purple and yellow, or purple and gold, however you want to look at it. Okay. So, of course, the trucks that caught my eye at that time was Stevens trucks and CR England trucks. Okay. And both of these companies were training companies, so they would help me get my CDL or help us get our CDL. Jay didn't want to go there. He wanted to go to Swift. And I was like, you know, after further research, man, bump this, I'm going to find a company that's going to pay us the most money to go there. Hence, I came across Prime. Prime was paying the most money to be a basically rookie driver, first year driver. Give you the good training, one-on-one training, and they had nice trucks, nice equipment. So we signed up to go to Prime. Okay, long story short, I stayed at Prime for 4.5 years. When I was at Prime, I made good money. All right, got into Prime, and I can remember my first check with Prime. Right after my training, the reason why I jumped into leasing opposed to being a company driver, because when I came into Prime, I had all intensive purposes of being a company driver when I first came there. All right, and me and Jay was going to team together and make the money, and we take home time together because we both live in Charlotte. Well, what ended up happening is I ended up getting snatched up by a flatbed trainer, and Jay ended up getting snatched up by a reefer trainer. Okay, so what ended up happening is he went reefer and I went flatbed. So at that point in time, we couldn't be team anymore. But I still had the idea of being a company driver for Prime. All right, first year. Now, what pushed me away from being a company driver the first year is the guy that was training me. He was a company driver. He wasn't a lease operator or anything like that. He was a company driver. And some of you guys have heard this story before, but for the new people that's here, I'm gonna reiterate it. His grandfather was passing, and his grandfather was like in his last days. He was in the hospital, and my trainer Mike, which I still look at him like a brother to me to this day, his grandfather, he just wanted to get home to see his grandfather before he passed away because his grandfather raised him. Well, the dispatcher that Mike had basically pissy-footed around on getting Mike to the house. Long story short, Mike's grandfather passed away while we were under a load, and Mike could have been there before his grandfather passed, but dispatch didn't. His dispatcher was on the run this extra load, run this extra load, run this other load, and then we'll get you home. When I saw that, I immediately didn't want to be in that same situation, watching a grown man cry because he wasn't able to get home to his loved one. So immediately I was turned off of being a company driver. I said, no. What do I have to do in order to, whenever I want to go home and say that I want to just go home, I don't want to, I need to get home in an emergency situation, how do I go about doing that to be a lease operator? So when I found that out, I was turned off of being a company driver. I went to be a lease operator with Prime. My first week that I was out, once I came back in to upgrade, my first week I was out with Prime, the first 2 weeks, or is it 14 days or 13 days or some shit like that, you don't have no truck payment. You don't have no deductions, no nothing. So they basically give you 2 weeks to make some money and things of that nature. My first week that I was out, I ran about 1 to 2 loads. I wasn't that good. I still was trying to, get comfortable with driving the truck, being by myself, get the butterflies out and things of that nature. And at that time, Prime didn't have automatic trucks. Everything was a manual. Everything was a stick. All right. So at the same time, me being by myself, not having Mike beside me to help me with shifting, I got to deal with shifting by myself, truck stalling out, make sure I'm comfortable with getting to the shipper, understanding the Qualcomm, making sure I'm doing everything correctly. So my first week wasn't that great. And this is the reason why I believe why when you do leases with these mega carriers, they give you 1 to 2 weeks before they take a truck payment. All right. But my first check was $1,500 or $1,500 plus. Okay, like 15 and some change. When I seen that check, I thought I was rich. I ain't never seen a $1,500 paycheck from a company, working for a company, that I made in a week. Now, have I made more money than that playing poker? Yes, I have. Okay, so seeing money playing poker is completely different than getting paid for doing a job. Okay, so I've never seen, as being a worker for a company, carrier, whatever, a $1,500 check in one week. So I was like, oh shit, ballin'. I was doing the shorty low joint and everything. Balling. My mindset at that point in time is this is exactly what the Stevens driver was talking about. So he was right. And coming from working at a job, most jobs, paycheck to paycheck to paycheck to paycheck. When you see something like that, you end up splurging out, right? And still at this time when I'm at Prime, I would say my first 4 to 6 months at Prime, I was single before I met my wife, Shay, which is the current, okay? So I thought I was balling. My second week, my third week, I was in the negative, okay? Or if I wasn't in the negative, I was making a $100, $200, $300 check. And I just couldn't understand like what was going on. So long story short, me and my first dispatcher that I had, we were not seeing eye to eye, okay? We weren't seeing cool at all, okay? But I remember hearing that if I wasn't seeing eye to eye with my dispatcher, that I could choose another one, okay? So after about 4 weeks of being on his board, I decided to change dispatchers and get another one. All right, they put me on to a dispatcher that just got aboard. His name was David Peterson. All right, shout out to David Peterson if you ever watch this, or if anybody that's at Prime on flatbed side that has David Peterson as their dispatcher, they know what I'm talking about. All right, at this time, David Peterson had just got aboard, so all the David Peterson drivers were new to him, and everybody was new to David Peterson. So I came on the David Peterson board right when he got it. Instantly from there, I started building a rapport with David Peterson on knowing how I wanted to run, telling him my expectations, telling him that, you know, I'm out here to run, I want to make money, and things of this nature. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to go home, I don't have nothing to go back home to. So I'm good, I could just be out here running. So me and David, over the years, grew a rapport, and I did well with David Peterson. All right, there's a lot of people that don't like David Peterson or didn't do well with David Peterson. I did well with him. Me and David Peterson made a lot of money together. Okay, and I started getting into training, made some more money. Then my wife, Shay, came over to Prime. I trained her, we teamed for a year. After a year, she went back home, and the rest is history. Okay, as far as Prime goes. I say all of that to say this. When I was OTR, driving OTR with Prime, it was enjoyable, okay? Yeah, I had days that was shitty days. We all do as truck drivers, have shitty days. But for the most part, it was fun, okay? Whether it was with training a student or whether it was the time with my wife on the truck, experience all kind of different things, all right? Paychecks were more good than they were bad. Once again, not saying that I didn't have bad paychecks, I did, but I had more better paying paychecks than I had bad ones. Now, how I went about figuring out how to crack the code for Prime was I started understanding my settlement. I started understanding where I need to be at, what times of the year, what certain seasons of the year where I need to be at, and what certain seasons of the year I don't need to be going, okay? So I started to figure out going west of I-35 for flatbed during the wintertime just isn't profitable. So I stopped going west of I-35 in the wintertime. All right, stayed east of I-35, did everything east of I-35. When the summer opened back up, spring opened back up, I went back west again. All right, but once again, I say all of that to say this in comparison to local. Once you've had a taste of OTR money and you go local, or you're the individual who want to come off the road, be home, and all that other stuff, there's nothing wrong with that. All right? There's nothing wrong with that. One thing you must understand is your money will change. Your money will change drastically. Okay? Drastically. Now I'm going to get into a little bit more deeper of it, but just headline that right there. It's going to change. All right? Now, coming back local or doing local work like what I'm doing right now, it is a different level of trucking, okay? A lot of guys will try to come off of OTR and try to feel like if they did it on OTR or how they maneuvered on OTR or moved on OTR, they can move the same way with local. It's not the case, okay? For example, one clear difference, a big difference from OTR to local. Local, I can't stress this enough, and you've heard enough people probably say this about local. You work 3 times harder being local than you do being OTR. Okay? Keep this in mind. You work 3 times harder being local than you do OTR. Okay? One of the biggest things that you are going to change from OTR to local is long days. Extremely long days. You're subject to work anywhere from 12 to 14 hours a day, 10-hour break at home, and back at it again the next day to do the same shit over again. They have a thing in local. For those that are on E-Logs, PeopleNet, Qualcomm, they know what I'm talking about right now, what I'm about to talk about. People that are on paper logs, they probably ain't gonna understand what I'm talking about because they're gonna be like, we do this every day or we do that every day. But they have a thing in local called Big Day. Okay? What does Big Day consist of? Big Day consists of 16 hours. Yeah, you heard me right. You heard me right. 16-hour work day. Okay? A 16-hour work day of drive time that you can drive. Okay? What does it mean? You have to take 2 30-minute breaks. Okay? Once you finish this 16-hour big day, okay? Check cut off. Okay, on time. Once you finish this big day, 16 hours, they expect you back at work in 10 hours. Yeah. They expect you back at work in 10 hours to do the exact same shit again. Minimum 12 hours a day, though. Minimum. Now, what's different in OTR and this? OTR has a 14-hour work day, okay, where you can work 14 hours, but you have an 11-hour clock, okay? And not every day, being OTR, you're going to drive 11 hours, okay? Or even work the full 14. Local, you going to work the 12 hours, the 14, the 16, every damn day, okay? Every damn day. Now, there may be the special case of a trucker out here that is local that says, oh, I work 9 to 5. If you have the 9 to 5 job where you're working 9 to 5 and you're a local driver, company driver, you are a special case. But I will say, if you're working a schedule where it is consistent like that, you ain't making no fucking money. Okay? You're not. You one of those stuck at $10 an hour, $12 an hour, $13 an hour cats. You making $600-700 after taxes every week. If you got a consistent where I come in at 9 o'clock and I get off at 5 o'clock every day. Okay? Being local, they are going to get every drop, every hour out of you. I promise you. You are not going to, you may have a light day one day out of the 5 days that you work. Okay? You may have a light day. And when I say light, 10 hours. Okay? But they are going to try to stretch that clock as much as possible and get the most work out of you. Okay? the most work out of you. Let me tell you something else about some of these local companies. Unless they are union based, okay, pay attention here. Unless they are union based, or they're just this unicorn company, a lot of the companies that are local goes off of a thing called straight time. Straight time. Does any of y'all know what straight time is? I never knew what straight time was until I started doing local CDL Class A work. Okay? Y'all know what straight time is. I'm gonna see if somebody says it down here in the bottom. I'm up rolling every morning before 3:30 a.m. Yep. No time and a half after. There it is right there. Who said that? The Renaissance. Bingo. Straight time means no overtime. There is no time and a half. Okay? And no. This is not coincidental. This ain't every other company that might do it, or this ain't no shady company. This shit is the norm for local. Okay? It is the norm. Straight time means whatever they're paying you per hour for the amount of hours that you do it. No overtime. Nothing over 40 gets time and a half. So for instance, if you're making $20 an hour and you drove for 63 hours in the week, you got 63 hours times $20. That's your pay. Okay? No time and a half. And once again, like I said, this isn't no couple of companies do this. This is the majority for local, unless they are union based or they are like a, how can I say it? If they are a publicly traded company, basically the public buys into them, you can buy stocks into it, then they may offer the 40 in time and a half. Okay? Straight time is straight bullshit. Okay? They want you to pull the same amount of work, bust your ass, but do not give any additional incentive. Now I heard one guy say, well, it's better to do it that way opposed to overtime, because overtime, it throws you into another tax bracket. Okay? And most of that money that you make in overtime, you're going to be paying in taxes. My response to him was, I'd rather see that to give me the incentive or the boost to work harder than to know that I've worked past 40 hours and you're still paying me the same amount of money. Same amount of money. And listen, let me tell you something. It ain't no different if you go into a union job either, okay? Because I see people saying something about union down there. I don't know what you guys are really saying, but I'm going to talk to y'all about union. You go into one of these good companies. They pay good as hell. They union. Well, here's the problem. Okay? Here's the problem. You come in, you the lowest man on the totem pole. It don't matter how much, you can have 37 years OTR, CDL, Class A experience. You the bottom man on the totem pole. Guess who getting the fucked up schedule? Guess who getting layovers every night? You. Everybody else is making more money because they've been there longer, longevity in the union, seniority. Okay? But you, my friend, is going to get the bullshit. Okay? We don't care how much experience you got. It could have been Joey from around the street. No point intended, Joey. You know what I'm saying? Ratings. But it could have been Joey from around the corner who has only had his CDL for 2 years, 3 years, but has been with that company. All right, y'all hold on. He must want me to, he want me to back in. Y'all ponder on it. I'm going to be right back. Okay? We're going to finish talking about how By you going to a union, brand new, you still get fucked the same way. I'll be right back. Hold on, let me see what he wants. Alright, y'all, I'm back. We lost a couple people, but it's all good. Dude up here fucking up, messing up the paperwork, okay? Messing up the paperwork. Back to what I was talking about union, alright? So union, you're gonna come in as the man, the bottom man on the totem pole. How I know this? I applied for a job. Working for a company, Frito-Lay, okay? Frito-Lay. I went to the interview, went in there, and everything was going good till I heard about the schedule and heard how you got to bid on your shift every night, and it's based off of seniority, and basically the seniority gets first dibs on the stuff that basically stays local, and then the shitty shit comes down to the less seniority, and all of that stuff that was less seniority basically had to stay overnight, layover. I started thinking, if you're gonna do a layover, what's the difference in you being OTR? You might as well be OTR and make more money and don't have to work that hard, okay? With Frito-Lay, what you had to do, or what you have to do, some of y'all that worked at Frito-Lay before, all right? Shout out to Pinky. I know she doing Frito-Lay there in Charlotte. Hence the reason why I actually went to try to apply for Frito-Lay. But when I got there and I saw all of the work that you had to do by unloading the truck box by box, no help, no none of that stuff. And then they got like 3 stops on there. If you don't finish it, then they lay you over in a hotel, and then you finish it the next day. And then after that, after you finish it, then you come on back to Charlotte, and you get about 10 hours off, and then you back in the truck again to do the same shit again the next day. Bid on the shift again, you get the shitty shift, you in a layover again the next day you come. to make 70, 80 grand before taxes? Then the biggest thing that I hear about going local is go local to be with your family. Go local to be around your kids. Go local to be around your old lady. Go local to it's better than being over the road. Okay? Knowing what I know now, doing what I do now, I disagree. Okay? Being local, and you're going local to spend time with your family or to be around your family, here is the hard truth. I got more quality time spent with my family to where I'm able to do stuff with them, be energetic with them, go out and want to do things with them than I am being local. Okay? Working, once again, 12, 14, 16 hours a day being local. By the time you get off of work, shower, eat, sleep. And the later that you start this process or that you start doing this, the more beat up you're going to be the next day. Meaning, you get home and you start wanting to chill for an hour, then you want to take your shower, it takes an hour, then you eat and it takes an hour, then you finally watch some TV till you fall asleep. You've just literally left yourself with 5 hours of sleep before you have to get up and repeat the same process that you just did the following day. Okay? Literally, I'm here with my family physically. They can see me. Okay? They can see me physically, mentally, emotionally. You're not there. You might as well be gone. You're nothing more than a physical person at that moment because you're so beat up from work. Opposed to when I was over the road, I worked for 3 weeks, I came home for a week. I was a lot more refresher, if that's a word, refresher, or refresh for my family, able to play with my kids and do things with my kids, opposed to me coming home. And a lot of nights now, I fall asleep on the couch. I don't even have the energy to make it back upstairs. In the 2 days that you get off throughout the week, first day, you're recovering fully, okay? By the time your next day comes around, your second day, you might do a little bit of interaction, but yet you're still physically trying to get, or mentally trying to get your mind right for the next day. Because you got to do this shit all over again. And you got to do it now for 5 days. And for the amount of money that you're making locally, you have to sit there and ask yourself, is that shit really worth it? Just for me to say that I'm home every day and I get to sleep in my bed every day, I get to be in my own shower every day, but is it worth it? Is it worth it to see your paycheck after taxes $950, $1,000? Some of y'all are saying it's worth it to y'all. To me, I'm doing my family no justice because I'm not physically able to play with my kids. I'm not physically able to be there mentally, emotionally, because dad is beat up. But for some people, it may be worth it. To me, and this is another thing, okay? Take my shades off because now it's time to get on a serious question with y'all. I want to talk to the real men in the building, okay? Real men in the building. I'll talk to y'all real quick. As a real man, or as a husband, as a provider, you are supposed to do what? Exactly that, right? What are you supposed to do as a man Okay? Not as a boy, but as a man. As a man, you are supposed to do what? Anybody in the comment section, I'll let you know if you got it right. I did a local job in Houston and I was depressed, bro. Yeah. Provide. There you go right there, coming from Streets Cutlass. You are supposed to provide. And as a man, you provide by any means necessary, especially when you have children and you have a wife. Period. By any means necessary. So, by you being local and you just barely scratching the surface, and y'all are living paycheck to paycheck because the local money ain't the same as the OTR money was, okay? Because when we was OTR, we was able to do more things, okay? We was able to have better things. We had a better lifestyle. We was able to do this. We was able to do that. We was able to go on trips. We was able to do... When you were OTR, you were able to provide a lot better for your family than you were local by bringing your ass home and being up under them. Now that you're up under them, you really don't have a lot of time to play with them. You really don't have a lot of time to interact with them like that because you're fucking beat up and tired. Period. Then what happens? You start being paycheck to paycheck. Your lifestyle has now completely changed. Essentially, you have taken a pay cut. So when you've taken a pay cut, shit start to look a little funny. All right? Shit start to look a little funny. And what you used to make, you ain't making that no more. You understand what I'm telling you? You're not making that no more. So you start trying to think of ways to come up with other things to make money from. You can't pick up a second job. You know why? You're a truck driver. You're in the DOT. You have to take a rest break. You can't go pick up a second job and drive, and then 10 hours after that, come work or work an 8-hour shift, and then 2 hours later you come in to drive to try and make ends meet. That shit ain't gonna work. You're a CDL. You're a professional driver. You can't. You ain't gonna be worth a damn. And I'm not saying this. And I seen down in the bottom, day cab is in there. I'm not saying that it's like that for everybody. All right. So please don't take my experience and try to make it be your experience, or don't try to make your experience be my experience. Okay. Because that's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is this. I haven't worked this hard in my trucking career being OTR than how I do being local, period. I work 3 times harder being local than I did being OTR. And that's just a fact. And this is just me being truthful with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't even sitting here fucking bluffing or doing none of that. I'm telling y'all my experience from being local. And it don't even matter because in trucking locally, by you switching back and forth or looking for different jobs, you're just making a lateral move. Okay? You just making a lateral move, bruh. You go from one local company to another local company, it's a lateral move. You might change by a couple of cents, a couple of dollars, it's a lateral move. The only way that it's going to change drastically is if you go and do LTL or you do some food service. And by doing food service and LTL, you got to touch all the freight. You get that shit beat you up too, physically. It do. It beats you up physically. I think a lot of people, in my opinion, I think a lot of people do local for the wrong reason. Now, if you got to come off the road because you have a family emergency situation, or you got to be there for, you know, your child is sick, your wife has an illness or whatever, I dig it, okay? Or if you want to see your child grow up, okay, I understand. Everybody has their reasons for it. They do. But by going local, you will cut your finances by half. Damn near half from OTR. There's so many things in OTR that is specialized that will make you more money and that could potentially get you home. Especially like I see some people in there talking about regional, where you could be home on weekends and make more money. That's a good avenue to look into. You know what I mean? That's a good avenue to look into as well. Try to find one of those companies that you won out for a week and you be home on the weekends. You know what I mean? It gets you better money than the local life, because nothing is more depressing than seeing how many hours you've worked locally and then seeing your paycheck. And if any of y'all disagree with me on that, y'all are lying to yourself. Okay? Being a local driver, seeing the amount of hours that you have put in, damn near the same amount of hours as an OTR driver who has a 70-hour clock, you see that you pumping in 60, 65 hours a week, and you open up your paycheck, and that thing barely say that it break $1,000. But when you was OTR, you know you could run your clock out damn near almost 70 hours and clear 1,500, 2,000. It's a smack in your face. And if you are a real man and you are supposed to be a provider, the shit will look you in your face. You look in the mirror and you have to deal with that and say, man, how am I going to make this work? Because as a man, I have to be a provider. I can't make excuses. Because guess what? The kids back at home, they don't want to hear the excuses. The wife don't want to hear the excuses. As a man, you have to step up and figure out how to step back in your role of your house. Because if you don't step back in the role of your house, somebody going to be in the role to take your place. Your lady going to start losing confidence in you. Your kids is going to start losing confidence in you. And I see some people, like I said, once again, there are different genres when being local. There is. You're going to have some drivers who are going to say, I seen a comment just now, gentleman said, you make 65 to 70K. I can guarantee you bust your ass for that. I guarantee you. And you can't sit here and tell me if you're local and you're making 65 to 70K that you ain't beat up. Because I know for a fact that if the more you make being local, the more you touching freight. Can't nobody tell me they running dropping hooks or they just doing simple back in the docks and going here and making $2,000 a week being a local driver. The more you touch in local, the more you make. So you can't feed me it's a breeze for you being local and you ain't touching no freight. You could tell me you bumping out 65. I see right there, Old Dominion top, and somebody says Old Dominion 100,000. Old Dominion works. Old Dominion, you have to have all kinds of endorsements, hazmat, triples, doubles, and you have to deliver. And guess what? With Old Dominion, you unload them trucks. You get back there. That is a LTL company. You touching freight. And with some of those LTL companies, once you get back to the terminal, guess what you gotta do? Hop on a forklift and unload that truck. Don't touch, who is this? He says, LoShawn, not here, sir. I don't touch no freight. Hook up my set and run, take home 1,300. 13, but 13, I feel you. I feel you on that. I don't know what you're hauling. I don't know whether you're hauling you're hauling hazmat. Nat line haul drivers, Nat line haul drivers sit Nat at OD. And but the thing is this, right? Like I was saying, these LTL companies that have like unions. Old Dominion is union, okay? Old Dominion is LTL. You come in as a new driver on LTL, you go into the bottom of the chain, okay? You go into the bottom of the chain. Now I think you said that you do Old Dominion. So once again, I kind of like excluded those companies earlier because those are the companies that are going to make the good money, but you touch freight on top of that, you're in a union and all that other stuff. I'm not speaking about union, because with union based, I don't think that y'all even have straight time. Am I right or wrong? Oh, intermodal. But within the same area, Charlotte, North Carolina, Old Dominion ain't hiring. I mean, they got a couple of LTL companies that's hiring, but guess what? Their shifts, their shit like that is all messed up. You're gonna be at the bottom of the totem pole, period. And it's gonna be years, because when you get into those LTL companies like Old Dominion, YRC, those guys don't leave them spots until they retire. They retire from them. And then what people need to realize is this as well, okay? I see all y'all putting these numbers up here, okay? I see all y'all putting numbers up here. It is also going to be based off of cost of living of where you stay. So by somebody sitting here telling me I make $1,500 or $1,600 a week take home, where you live? What city you live in? It is going to consist of cost of living, period. And because I live in Charlotte, okay, cost of living in Charlotte ain't that damn high, okay? So by you trying to get a local job in Charlotte that's going to cut you $1,400, $1,500, $1,600 a week after taxes, you about to be touching some damn boxes, okay, and unloading the whole trailer by yourself. My man says Southern California. Exactly. My point in case rested. You need to make that kind of money to keep up with cost of living in California. Period. Y'all not look. See, y'all gotta think outside the box. When y'all throw numbers out here, y'all forgetting. Low know is shit. All right. You have to make that type of money for cost of living where you stay. Period. If you stay in a little country bumpkin town, and the cost of living in that country bumpkin town to get a 5,000 square foot home is $1,200, it's gonna pay according to cost of living. So when y'all throw these numbers and say I bring home $1,600, $1,700, where you stay? California, New York, up north, northeast, where cost of living is extremely high to live. So it has to balance itself out. So the argument ain't even there, because when it all balances itself out, you bring yourself over to Charlotte or where the cost of living is cheaper, you're gonna be making the same thing that I'm making. You ain't gonna be making that $1,500, $1,600. I average $1,500 Texas regional at Prime and home like clockwork every weekend. You said at Prime? Oh, you drive for Prime? I average $1,500 Texas regional. Okay, that's what's up. Like I said, like, to me, the money is still with OTR companies, man. Like, it just is, man. Local companies are going to pay you based on the cost of living of where you live at. OTR companies don't pay you based on the cost of living of where you live. They don't. That's where the money starts messing up at. When you get back, you just grab your head like, pay cut. You know what I'm saying? Like, pay cut. That's the reality. That's the reality of this shit. Buy a $1,500 square foot, 4-bedroom, 2-bath in the Midwest for 1 year of OTR pay. There it is. Salute. Congratulations on that. But the reality of what I'm trying to put or convey to y'all in this message is, being OTR or being local, you work harder than you do in OTR. And in my opinion, from what I've seen from settlements, I made more being over the road, worked less being over the road than I did local, making less. I mean, we talking about, like I said, 12, 14, 16-hour days, man. I'm sitting right now at this shipper. And this is another caveat to it. I'm sitting at this shipper right now. I got here at 9:30 this morning. All right? Eastern Standard Time. It's now 11:39. I don't have a sleeper. I have to sit right here in this chair, straight up. Best I can try to get comfortable. Put my leg up here, try to slouch down a little bit. But this is where I'm at. Sitting in this day cab, whereas other people are going to the back, laying down. I wish I could go back there and lay down. I miss that shit about OTR. You pull up to the dock, and it takes a long. Go to the back, turn on TV, chill. Turn on APU, do whatever. It's a pay cut, man. End of the day, it don't matter how you look at it. So for drivers that are saying that they make $1,500, $1,600 a week, my response back to you is, where you live, cost of living, warrants for that amount of money. Because if you made what I'm making for where I stay at back, were y'all able to hear that phone conversation? Y'all still here? I'm still back. Was y'all able to hear that? I was on the phone call. Was y'all able to hear that at all? Anybody? Was y'all able to hear that? I was on the phone call with the carrier and how I've been sitting here. Did anybody hear that? No, y'all didn't hear it? Okay. All right. But, hey, listen. Listen. Local is, I would like to say that local is what you make it. I really would, because I'm a firm believer in OTR is what you make it. You know what I'm saying? If you make OTR terrible, or you make OTR to be a nightmare, then OTR is just that. But local, I can't say that local is what you make it, because local is a different beast. Local is what it is, man. Local is long hours every day, a lot of work. They're going to ask you to run a lot of things. And local ain't for me, man. I mean, in the day, what Lo trying to say is local ain't for me, man. Local is not for me. How much more longer I'll do this? I don't know. I know right now, currently, I'm in a bowling league. I like bowling. And the fall league just began this week. So I already told my wife that probably by the summertime comes, I may be looking to do something OTR again. Maybe drive for my own company, PMG. But this ain't for me. This ain't for me. And shout outs and kudos to everybody that's local, that do they thug thizzle. Day cab, he be doing his thing. My man Mob Trucker, he be doing his thing. I feel y'all, man. Like, I understand why y'all do what y'all do and want to be home every night and be in your bed and shower in your own shower. But I would like to be able to do that and be able to do that, you know what I mean, without feeling beat up, and then be able to enjoy it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, this shit's crazy, man. Like, at the end of the day, I still smile. I still got my company. And I did this because I needed something to occupy my time sitting at home. At the end of the day, I'm still a trucker. You know what I'm saying? I like to drive. I like being in the truck. I do. But doing local, I don't know. This ain't the lick, man. It's not the type of money that I'm accustomed to in trucking. It's just not. What insurance company you use? I use a broker. I actually use an insurance broker to broker my insurance. I don't have insurance right now. I use the carrier's insurance. So until I get my authority, then I will get my own insurance. Keep it pimping. Local, not for everyone. Just like intermodal, not nor OTR. It's on each individual. Yes, Silent Secret, you're right. Everything ain't for everybody. Just like I tell people, leasing ain't for everybody. You know what I mean? It's not. It's not for everybody. Everybody don't have the right mindset for it, so it's not for everybody. And like I said, I don't want to discourage anybody from going local. But some things that I do want to let you guys know about in being local is you can expect, if you've been OTR and used to OTR money, you can expect a pay cut. Like, just expect it. You know what I mean? And a paycheck is going to be consistent because every day, 5 days, you come in and you do the same thing. So the paycheck is going to be consistent. So as far as a consistent paycheck, local is good. But as far as beating you up, tearing you down mentally, this ain't the lick, man. It ain't, man. It's just not to me. Not to me. To other folks, it may be. Come on back to the dark side, bro. I'll hire you on the truck. $1,200 a week, flat. I appreciate that, Adam. I probably won't do nothing as far as like with flatbed no more. If I come back, I want to do something specialized. I want to do, yeah. I kind of like know, if I come back OTR, I already kind of like know what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? And it would consist of me, oh yeah, my hair is out. Took my braids out. So there y'all see my hair, my braids out. But it would consist of me more so chilling. It wouldn't be no refrigeration. Like I said, I know what I want to do. I don't want to really put it all out there in the atmosphere because I don't even know if I'm going to go through with it. You know what I'm saying? So there's no need to speak on it. Appreciate the info, brother. Makes sense. I'm starting class next month. That's what's up. Congratulations. Clyde, I'm nowhere near a weirdo. Oh, man, what are y'all talking about in here? Low and Shade, let me know when y'all thinking about moving to Dallas. Yeah, my wife was thinking about Dallas. Dallas, Houston, somewhere like there. Maybe down in the Texas area. I don't know, man. Somewhere back down further south. Sounds like heavy haul. Who was that said that? Team Tiny? I don't know. You know, I really did enjoy doing what I did as far as step deck. With like hauling the buses, the armor trucks, the vehicles. I don't know, maybe I get into something dealing with vehicles. Okay. Maybe I get into something dealing with vehicles. Dallas, Houston, my next spot. The suburbs are either spot for me, though. Y'all can have the South. The South is good. Specialized freight is the way to go. Yes, D. Butler, it is the way to go. I don't want to pull general commodity things, man. I want to do something that is specialized. And like I said, if I was to go back to doing flatbed, it wouldn't be a conventional flatbed. It wouldn't be general commodity. It would be doing step deck again and hauling like the armor trucks, the ambulances, things like that. If I decide to go back to that, man. I don't know, man. That's like probably like the third thing on my mind, though, for real. Somebody says car hauling. Hey, you might be onto something. All right, you might be onto something right there, D Butler. I'm thinking about it. Hey, yo, D Butler, you got information for me on that? Listen, I tell you what, D Butler, hit me on the gram. You follow me on the gram? Yo, shoot me your number on the gram, D Butler. I want to holler at you if you got some information on that. If you do, holler. I want to know some more info on that. Mercer's a great op company, by the way. Yeah, I looked into Mercer too, Clyde. I think your name was Clyde. Clyde, but I don't know, man. Mercer just don't deal with a lot of specialized, man, unless it's like heavy haul. And nah, man, nah. Bull hauling, oh man, no. I can tell you right now, I can't. I'm not thinking about bull hauling. I haven't even thought about bull hauling at all. So I can tell y'all that right now that it won't be bull hauling. Furniture hauling, nah, man. Furniture hauling is too much like work too. That's a lot of work. That's touching a lot of furniture and moving up and down steps and different terrains. I know they make good money, but man, I don't think I'm with that. If I'm gonna do furniture hauling, I might as well just go work for a food distribution center. You know what I mean? Or a food distribution company that, you know, like a Cisco. Let us hear the engine. Yeah, there you go. Talking about with the Jake on there? There you go. Somebody said they wanted to hear it. There you go. Go to Cohen. Call hauling is the move. I'm looking into that, Derek. That's for sure. Just do LTL low. LOL. Best of both worlds. Clyde, you know, now that you say that, I've looked into LTL. Okay, and in my opinion, okay, here's my opinion, folks. If you are going to do local, or you want to go home and be local, I wouldn't go local unless I went with an LTL company. My opinion, okay? LTL companies pay the best as far as being local. They got benefits, they got union. Most of them are union, not all of them. But if you are going to go local, from the research that I've gathered, okay, from the research that I've gathered, I wouldn't do anything other than being LTL if I was local. Get on one of these companies like Old Dominion, Holland, what is that one called? It's SAIS or something like that. YRC, I think that's what it's called, YRC, right? Yellow Rail, something like that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But those LTL companies, okay, Central, they make, you know, anywhere in the 20s, mid 20s an hour, and yeah, so that's my opinion. Your boy Rich says container hazmat loads made $450 off of one load, 30 miles, killing them, pulling containers with this $5,500 truck that I bought. Fact, that's what's up, man. Salute to you on that. That is a, oh, I need to switch this. Okay, I'm sitting here. Okay, there we go. But that's what's up, man. Shout out. And you know, some people that are local can make it work if you get your own truck, all right, and you get on with somebody who has a lot of freight and the freight is paying. You know what I'm saying? Pulling out, I don't know if you're pulling out the port or you're pulling out the intermodal. Gentleman say he's pulling containers, but I don't know which one you're doing. Step deck, military, heavy equipment. Yeah, that too. I've been thinking about going full and log plane in the woods. Randy Spears, what are you talking about, man? How much do these NASCAR haulers make? All right, I looked into the NASCAR haulers as well. What's your name? Fuller? I looked into that. But with the NASCAR haulers, I come to find out it's about who you know in the NASCAR, and you gotta pretty much like be wanting to do that. My understanding is a lot of work too, because you take on a lot of tasks as being the car hauler. You're not just a driver. You gotta cook, clean, shine up the truck, help out where they need your help at during the event. So it's almost like you're the driver and the do boy. Okay, and I'm just not interested in that. If I gotta drive this truck to point A to point B, then why I gotta be the do boy? Why I gotta cook hot dogs and shit and hamburgers and I don't think that. And in my understanding, not even paying that well. UPS is great. UPS is great. It takes a while to get in UPS. So with that being said, what I was about LTL, a lot of these LTL companies are hard to get into. They have a waiting list, okay? My advice would be, if you plan on going local or you want to go local, put your name in the hat. When they call you up, come local, and then come off OTR, and then you're in one of these LTL companies. Just the way I see it now, you know what I mean? Which is probably what I'm going to be doing, is putting my name in the hat for LTLs. There's one LTL around here that did offer me a job, but the problem is the scheduling is a problem. I think I come in, they wanted me to come in at 6:30 or 7 o'clock at night and work until 8 o'clock in the morning. And yeah, Central Freight Lines. Yeah, that was one that actually had hit me up. And I had a job offer on the table. All I had to do was sign off on it. But it kind of interfered with my plans of things I wanted to do. I don't really technically want to drive at night if I can avoid it, being local. You know, I'd rather be home with my family at night. I don't want to drive at night and be at home in the day. Like, everybody's doing things in the day. They at school, you know what I'm saying, at work, do whatever. But I want to be home with my family at night, if at all costs. And they had an opening for 7 to 8 o'clock in the morning, which is just a terrible schedule to me. For number down lease, UPS hiring 100 drivers for new hub. Yeah, but that's in PA. I'm not in PA. I'm in Charlotte. I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina. And right now in Charlotte, UPS isn't even hiring. It's a freaking list out of this world. I hate night driving too, bruh. It's my only con with most LTLs. Exactly, Clyde. Yeah, that's my pet peeve. Is I'm not. If I'm gonna be local, I want to be in the day. You know what I mean? I don't want to drive at night. I want to be home with my family at night. If I'm gonna be local, you know, I'm gonna be around my family. I want to be home at night with them. You gotta work the dock in between hubs. Yes, that is correct. You do gotta work the dock in between hubs to do LTL. But LTL is paying the most money to be local. It just is. Unless you have some type of a contract, you own your own type of truck, and you're getting some ridiculous per mile. U.S. food shuttle driver. Carolina, I never heard of. Is that the one who drive the box truck, man? I know they ain't making that damn much money, man. Like I said, I did that a couple of times when I was at Fresh Point, man. They ain't making that much money. I love night driving, but I understand not wanting to be home when everybody is at the house. Yeah, man, especially in Charlotte, man. These people in Charlotte, man, these young bulls out here, man, they getting crazy. Charlotte getting extremely crazy with violence, man. They are. It's like a murder every day, a homicide every day, as far as like shootings, killings, and stabbings, and drive-by shootings. They had drive-by shooting here in Charlotte the other day. Then they had some big ass shooting uptown Charlotte with a lot of people shooting back and forth at each other. Like, Charlotte getting crazy, man. So I need to be at the crib with my family at night, so then I can pull out my my artillery and use some cats as target practice. You know what I'm talking about? And stand over them and call the police to come scoop this cat up out of my crib. Yeah, it's getting crazy in Charlotte. Oh, okay. The highway runner, you stay in Charlotte? Yeah, Charlotte getting ridiculous, man. Like, I don't know if they trying to, I don't know, man, if they trying to make the headline news. I don't know if it's the baby with his music and Young Stunna and them always talking about carrying around sticks, aka guns, for those that don't know. But they didn't got the city of Charlotte on fleet kill status at this point. Like, everybody carrying sticks and busting them off. Like, shit crazy, man. Charlotte is ridiculous. Yeah, definitely, Adam. I'll be calling the police to come scoop this body up. Okay, he dead. He dead. Somebody said Charlotte always been a little New York. Nah, I've been in Charlotte now for quite a bit. And Charlotte had 151 murders last year for the whole year, and they already up to like that number right now. Like, it's looking like they're gonna double the number that they did last year. If we talking about that's 302 murders, man. Like, it's getting crazy in Charlotte. It's getting crazy in Charlotte, man. It is. People been asking me, should I move to Charlotte? I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm trying to get up out of here. Like, they starting to get real ridiculous here. Yeah, the whole world is getting crazy though. Born and raised in Charlotte, it hasn't always been like this. Yeah, my wife was born and raised in Charlotte, and man, just the last 2-3 years, man, it's just been crazy, man. Like I said, I don't know what it is. Maybe the baby and Young Stunna promoting too much, talking about sticks and making everybody in Charlotte just go ballistic and feel like they New Orleans and massive killing cities. Like, man, Charlotte was never like that. Come to the Midwest, get you some deers for neighbors. That's what's up. Gotta keep a strap on your lap, no cap. That's fact. The baby is a bad influence. I think he could rap about a lot better things than what he does. A lot of his raps, you know, I support him. He's out of Charlotte. But a lot of his raps is just promoting violence. It's just ridiculous. Charlotte and Durham is the hub for heroin distribution. Oh, damn, I don't know nothing about that, man. I don't be around the drugs, so I didn't know that. And these pills doing it to the youth. Let me see. What does it say? It's these pills doing it to the youth. Guns been around forever, but now kids turn to addicts and can't think past go. I actually agree with you, Silence and Secrecy. The generation now, I feel sorry for the fucking generation now, man. A bunch of drug users and killers. That's all they are. Drug users and killers. That's all they want to do. Pop pills, pop mollies, pop this, pop that, smoke this, smoke that, mix this, mix that, go grab guns and shoot up everybody. Shit, man, what the fuck? And it's in their raps. It's all in their raps. Smoke dope, sell a brick of key, I'm playing with these sticks. Cat, try me if you want to. I'll blow your brain. Like, god damn, bro. It's sad. It's pretty sad. Somebody says FedEx Freight. FedEx Freight ain't even hiring in Charlotte. I already looked into them. Like all these jobs that y'all are naming, as far as like the FedEx, Old Dominion, I think YRC is actually hiring. And the other ones, with some of the other ones, they want you to have doubles in hazmat. Me personally, I'm not into the hazmat shit, dog. Like I don't want to carry anything that can explode, that can create explosion, deaths, all that. I'm just not interested. And to me, I don't feel like getting my hazmat. Like I ain't with it. And I don't feel like I need to get my hazmat in order to make good money. But I do understand that I might just get it just to have it. Don't mean that I necessarily need to carry it. All right, y'all, I got to back into this Dizzo. So with that being said, man, I'm outie 530. I appreciate y'all rocking out with me. 82 minutes in this thing. In this twang. 82 minutes in this twang, man. I'll holler at y'all again, man. Might be tomorrow. Whenever I get free time like this, man, I just turn on the YouTube, man, and just politic with y'all. Alright? I don't do no recorded videos no more. I just come on and do what I do. Alright? If you're new to my channel, please do consider subscribing. If you ain't already hit the bell, please do hit that right now on your way out the door. Everybody, before you leave, give me a like. Hit the thumb up if you rock with me. And if you hate me, make sure you thumb it down so I can keep track of who don't like me. Y'all be safe in these streets, man. Salute.